Jack, what's happening, brother? Hey, thanks for being here, bro. How you doing? I haven't talked to you or seen you for a while. I've been kind of laying low. I have today a Fender Jazzmaster US made with a broken vibrato bar that I am commissioned to fix. So I'm going to get right into it at this point. Oh, and if you wonder why having your pickups too close to the strings is an important mistake that you might make, it's because of this. If I tighten this string up, you'll see that it is above the pickup now, because the pickup can't grab it. But if it's too close, all I got to do is take a little bit of tension off of this string, and whoop, there it goes. The pickups will grab it, and they'll stop your string sustain from happening. Break out of the jazz. Yeah, so I'm going to just get busy here getting the strings off of this thing, and we'll dig into the vibrato bar here soon enough. Try and get the camera pointed. I'm just loosening all the machine heads at this point. This is kind of the boring stuff. I'm going to stay busy. Hope everybody is having a great Tuesday. My day has been filled with recapping and restoring a 1953 Bandmaster, which I will show you all here when I get done with this project. As always, working musicians come first on my bench. And if you are a working musician and have a broken instrument, your stuff gets fixed first. That's my policy, and I'm very proud of that. I think the working musicians. Steven, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Dude, I rebuilt that 53 Bandmaster. Oh boy. And have it all done and hopefully working. I haven't fired it up yet, so let me get you down here. These the owner of this guitar uses 10 gauge clear tone strings on his instrument, which we're really happy to provide for him. Okay. Now we're gonna dig in deep here. Okay, where is my number 2? There's my number 2. My slogan when I had a plumbing business was number 1 and the number 2 business. I'm gonna dig in here. The arm broke off inside the and I know turning screws, it's really fun to watch somebody do this. This is a case where a power tool would be really fun and dandy and fast and all, but not gonna go there. And also, Steven, here's the parts from that 53. Paper and wax caps, a bunch of bad resistors, and wiring that was altered in the instrument that did not match the period of wiring, so I used fabric wire on that to match what was installed originally when the amp was built. I don't like seeing rubber walled wire on a 1953 amplifier, so we did it. Magnets, exactly. They will kill your sustain if you put your pickups too close to the strings, guys. Everybody wants their guitar louder by raising the pickup height, and that is a big mistake. It'll get brighter, it won't get louder. There'll be such a subtle volume difference. Brightness is often perceived as volume, and it's not. Well, pulling screws, you guys. I know this is not the most exciting part of working on guitars, but it is a necessary part of it. Some of these screws are really pretty tight, and I'm just doing my best to get them out of here without marring up the teeth on these screws. That number 2 screwdriver was a little bit too big. It was slipping, so I swapped it out. I haven't worked on one of these for quite a while, but this isn't the first one that I've had come in with this problem. It's a very small diameter vibrato bar on these. So if you ever wondered what the bottom side of a Fender Jazzmaster looks like, now you're seeing it. Okay. Okay, that's a block for the... They've used a piece here. You can loosen this up and slide it over and block the bar up. Okay. So on this one, this may be project. Let's see if this is reverse threaded. Forgive me if the camera is pointed the wrong direction. It is not. Sometimes they've placed an Allen key slot or a hex key slot in the tip of the threads on these. I've seen them like that. That would be a great idea if they did that on all of these, because these break fairly often. It's a weakness in Fender guitars that I really wish they would fix. They really should use a much bigger diameter bar than this. It's a standard measurement, and I'm guessing 3/16, maybe 1/4 inch. I could tell you exactly what it is, but I don't have time. I was hoping that I might be able to get at the bottom side of this without being intrusive to his guitar. So I can see. Okay, so there's a spring underneath there, and there's a plug in here. Oh boy. Okay. I'm gonna see what we can do here. They have not exactly sure what's happened here. Let's see if I can bust that loose with the hex key. Yes, I can. so that part came out very nicely. So they got a set screw there. Then they have a spring, and if you own a Fender guitar, you should have a spring inside your bar there to hold the bar up, and probably also use a what do you call it, a ball bearing on the end of that, so that the bar doesn't dig down, and that is likely what caused this to get stuck. Now I can access the bottom of that now. Boy. Okay, we're right at the very top of those threads. So what I'm thinking I want to do here is try and notch this bar. You can see the bar down inside there. I don't know how clear that picture is, but there it is. So we are gonna here we go. I have a small engraving bit here. See what kind of room I'll have. Okay. Actually, let's use a bigger one. Yeah, we'll go with the small one first.
I think maybe 2 speakers in the truck work. And she's out of town, and I had her truck for a little while, and I can't do this. I can't do this. So I'm trying to see about a stereo unit and new door speakers. Alright. I don't want to go crazy, especially if she's really only going to have a truck for like maybe another year at the most. So I don't want to dump a bunch of money. But I know it's going to come out cheap. This is kind of looking for some speakers.
you guys have backup cameras?
Yes, yes, we do. You want to have one installed?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna give me a few minutes here. We gotta.
Yeah.
But typically they're gonna run you right around $399 installed.
Okay.
And usually we need to have the vehicle for a full day. And usually what we'll do on those is decide on what unit is best for your vehicle when the vehicle's here. We've got a multitude of them that mount on license plates or in the bumper or other locations, and often they'll discuss that with you when we have them all in stock. I mean, that's really all there is to it.
All right. I'll let you finish up and talk more.
Yeah, okay. I'm hoping that I'll have another guy back here shortly. So.
Okay.
Yeah, that would work perfectly. We have a lot of speakers in house that generally fit with the amount that we have living in the cars. You just have to know what the car needs. Perfect. Awesome. One on top there, I think is about 70. Okay. 70, 90, 120, and then 180.
might be less than that. So altogether, like 340.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to piece out and see kind of what it's gonna look like.
Yeah. So if you're going for like really nice speakers, pretty good deck, it'll be probably like 350. And that's like just like
Okay.
and so it could be a little bit more, a little bit less, just around.
Yeah, there's different options,
Yeah.
different price, and yeah, I gotcha. Okay. Right on, man. I'll talk to her, see what she wants to do.
All
I
right.
should probably, I'll plug in tomorrow, probably set mine some stuff.
Perfect.
I just was trying to just figure out kind of price-wise where things were at.
And if you want to get a more accurate, like more spot on, what it would be, if you come in tomorrow, Stu will be here and ask to talk to Stu.
Okay, cool.
And he'll walk you through everything you could ever need to know.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
You have a great rest of your day.
You as well.
So what are you looking for?
A lot of things actually. I need a backup camera, probably one of the screens, display it. I got a subwoofer and a amp I need to be hooked up. Bunch of stuff.
Perfect. Well,
Any suggestions on what I should do here?
well, that's a great deck. It has a screen on it.
Look at that Kenwood. I've had Kenwoods in the
Kenwood?
past.
I'll look at as many prices as you want me to.
Yeah.
So plus the ones I want you to know. These ones are great. I wonder if we have any specific one that I know is really good. Oh, are you looking to? Do you have wait? Before I ask that. Never mind. We used to have one that was really good, but you couldn't use your steering wheel controls with it. And they were like really good.
Charlie, I've gotten a broken vibrato bar on this one.
They were really good.
The bar broke off down inside this shaft. That's the bar down in there.
Serial control, so I'd like to use those. So.
All right,
And
perfect. But we don't have any of those, so.
Yeah.
what I've done is I've notched it and put
any
a
others you're looking
screwdriver so I can get a screwdriver into that, but I cannot move it.
For this one.
Heat it up.
Grab it. There we go.
Some help?
No thanks.
Alright.
I'll look up the prices for these.
Okay.
Looking for our backup cameras.
We've got license plates and bumper mounted ones. Usually they just the camera isn't really of any consequence. We've got that one, I think this one. There's a whole bunch of them. Again, that's
I'm not too worried about.
Yeah.
As long as whatever works best.
Yeah, they
For you
all
guys.
have the same display. There's just different models of them for different mounting purposes.
And
That's
do you know how much they are?
$3.99 installed.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll go look up the prices for these.
Alright, thank you.
Dang. No. Oh, I'm sorry you're not feeling well, Mark. It's good to see you, bro. Looking forward to talking with you this afternoon, hopefully. Yeah, Charlie, it does. It's a screw-in type bar. This does have threads on it here. He was unthreading it, and it locked up on him, and while he was trying to remove the bar from the guitar, it snapped off, and you can see that the threads, and these are really wimpy little bars anyway that Fender puts on their guitars. So I've cut a slot on the inside of here, and I'm able to get a screwdriver on it, but it will not turn either direction. And it's too far to get at from this direction, the bottom side. There is a spring and a set screw that go into this side. Let me look at that. I think the set screw stops way too soon, but we'll try it. What I'm gonna do is attempt to screw this set screw down in here. Wonder if anybody might have.
Alright, I got these prices
Yeah.
for you. This one is about
Yeah.
160.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my next.
And then both of these are about 260.
Okay.
I think this one's 250, that one's 270, maybe.
Okay.
Just about 260 for both of these.
So what's the major difference between those two and this one?
Well, that one is cheaper, obviously.
Yeah, no.
Um,
Don't really need a DVD player either, or a CD player.
mhm.
Yeah, these threads are
These
only
ones
cut in there so
are-
far. I was hoping
Oh,
to.
they don't have it?
This one doesn't have it. I
Yeah.
don't think this one does either.
I have applied oil to that
This one you can
to
USB
try and break it
screen here.
loose.
so like copy your phone screen.
Okay.
But an easy
I
out
don't need that
is
Yeah.
next likely
rear camera.
candidate.
That's what I need.
Let me see if
Yeah.
this one has that. Because it might not.
Do they
I'm gonna have to readjust
both
this
have
whole
USB
bar.
and aux? That one has USB.
I don't
USB
think.
plus Bluetooth connection.
USB, AV. I'm not sure if that one has aux. I don't know why it wouldn't.
Maybe that's in the
This one does have a camera. So this one's just a little. It's just cheaper. Not nearly as good as these two, but it will
You guys
work for
forgive
what-
me for not talking a whole lot here, but yeah,
Alright.
I'm at a point now where I think the easy out is play the rubber mallet. Yeah, I'm at a point where I need to
So-
be able to get a hold of that
And
in there.
are you looking
It's
for
a
speakers
awful
as well?
small. This is only a
Oh, you're
quarter
looking
inch
for,
diameter
speakers.
You're looking for
bar, so
install
an
on
easy out's
a-
going to be a really tiny
this
little
camera.
tiny little
and
I
one.
you
have the
have-
amp. I have the amp and the subwoofers.
okay.
I just need them hooked up, and then probably need a panel for this to fit in the front.
Oh yeah, no, that's covered in our install for that. Which so
Maybe
that
would that come with the aux cord hookup? I wonder.
we might be able to do that for you.
Mm,
I think so. That installed will probably
Yeah.
be about 300.
I don't have any
Installed.
PB Blaster. I
Might be a
know
little
I've
less,
heard of
little
that
more.
stuff,
Camera,
Andy.
300, just 300.
So that'll
Or is
well
is
that's
that-
that's 400. It's closer to 400.
Okay.
399. So that'll be 700, and then probably another. So it'll be about 850 to 900
Okay.
altogether.
So camera.
It might
Kenwood.
be. It might even be like over 1,000.
Okay.
Maybe. I doubt it. I very much doubt it. Because
Okay.
we like giving you guys a good deal. So
All
I
right, well,
think
let's
it'll
put
probably
some
be-
numbers. So this one, the camera, and then we gotta look up make and model for the everything.
Just hitting it with some lube. Sorry, you guys are looking at my Oregon hat. I just hit it with some lube. I need to talk to my cameraman, by the way. He's working on getting fired.
I need to bring her down and look.
Yep. Yep. I don't necessarily want to go there yet, Mark. Yeah, the threads are so small on this. The diameter of it is so small that, yeah, I'm not even sure if an easy out would, boy. And the other option is obviously to pull this whole part out of here and just buy a new one, but I'd really rather not do that if I can fix it. Either drilling it out. What I might be able to do is drill it out with just, let's say, an 1/8 inch drill bit, and maybe drive a yeah, but I can't, yeah. Yeah, I agree, Charlie, but I can't get a hold of this, I can't get a hold of this, and I've got a pretty good notch in it at this point. I don't know how well y'all can see what I've done on that. That might be blurry, but I've notched it with the what is that, Dremel tool. And I'm able to get a screwdriver in here and get a bite on this, and with all my might, it's not a matter, ooh, it might have moved. Nope. So I think what I'm going to do at this point is try and get a little deeper with the no, it's not. I thought the same thing, but it won't turn either direction at all. So I'm gonna take my Dremel and try and get a little bit deeper, a deeper slot on that. Preston, yeah. This is a bridge plate from a Fender Jazzmaster, really beautiful guitar. And, ultimately, it looks like this on the guitar, and the bar goes right there, and the bar has been broken off here. You can see the threads missing on that. Boop. So an easy out, or being able to notch this a little bit deeper, right through the piece. Yeah, dude, I'm thinking the exact same thing, Mark, but I'm gonna take one step at a time here, and that is a great idea, and it is up and coming to drill right through it, man. I totally get that, but I'm going to try this one more time. Get some. It gets hot. I don't have an easy out here, doggone it, for that small of a... Yeah, I got you. Yeah, don't try this at home. No, I mean, if you break a bar off, you know, and this is a common, this is a very common injury to especially American-made Fender guitars, because they use such wimpy little bars, and then when you cut the threads, you can see the diameter of the metal that's holding that in place, and it really feels like this thing got cross-threaded or something, because I can't tell, but I'm at a point now where I'm gonna try this Dremel to try and notch that screwdriver slot in there a little bit more. I mean, I can get a hold of it. I'm gonna try getting a little bit deeper and. Woohoo! 30,000 RPMs. Okay. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Here we go. Nope. That thing is stuck. It's too big for that screwdriver. I don't want to mess up my my beautiful my old Weehaw screwdriver. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's again, it's, you know, I've been lucky enough where they've broken off in other Fenders that I was able to get a hold of it from the outside, like it broke off proud, you know, it broke off out here. This one's broken clear down into here. So, you know, yeah. And I cannot get far enough down inside here to get at it. I'm looking at the end of that, and it almost looks as if it's got a hex key notch in it. It's tiny, so this hex key would probably strip out. No, it does not. Okay, so we are left with drilling it out at this point. Yep, I'm gonna have to drill this out. I'm gonna give the screwdriver one more shot. Preston, man, I'll bet you do. Hi, Emma. Hello, sweetheart. Hey, let me point y'all at my ugly mug. Hope y'all are doing well. Hello, Emma. I hope you guys are doing great. Yeah. I don't have an easy out here, not for this. I've had such terrible luck with those, and I've broken more of those than have worked, to be honest. Ooh. Yep. There it is. Put in the freezer. Okay. I'm gonna give this screwdriver one more shot. So you know, all the suggestions you guys, I really appreciate it. Ooh. Oh. And a little chunk of metal just came out of there. Well, that's good. Yep. Yeah. Well, Okay.
Specific size or
These are imperial size threads and such. Yep. Yep. Well, we do have a freezer here at the shop.
brand affiliation?
That doesn't sound like a half bad idea. I'm gonna go do that. Talk amongst yourselves. Give me about 3 minutes to run. Yeah, I'll just be gone for about 3 minutes to get this into the freezer. And what time is it? It's a little before 5. It looks like on the west coast of the United States. I'm gonna go throw this in the freezer, and I'll be right back, and I'll show you all the 1953 Bandmaster I just got done recapping today. We might even plug it in and try it out today. Give me a moment.
You sure can. So take the pinky off. Just into this guy? Yeah. You actually have to roll your teacher out? Well, I think the best thing, I know the sweet one is that's the most eclectic, you know what I mean? I do have another neck over there that has a volume on it. It's just a one string neck to this one, but I borrow a Vortex, same price, but really strong, yeah, and an extra string. Yeah, I sure have one. Yeah. Will you look it up on the internet?
I've been looking things up on the internet, so
And then we'll see if we can work out.
so we're gonna do 4 and
Basically, it's just one lightweight, but it comes for now. We'll just simulate it. One there, one there, and then another one. Still
with
on
it
mid.
there.
Off. Okay, and then we're gonna do one more for that last note. You're gonna take the middle finger up. That's the last note. So you want to make sure to hit that last string.
And you're playing from the accordion again.
Yep. Just until the last note. Yeah. Cool. And then hover if you can hover that middle finger right above where it's gonna go back to.
Okay.
Because if you're just taking it off right off the fret, keeping it there, and then you're gonna put it back to start.
Okay, so it was on.
Yep. With the pinky. Take another one. Hold, and then take that one off.
Ooh, wrong finger. That goes lower.
Yeah.
Okay.
Discover.
And then it turns.
Just keep going and see if you can get it
So
nice and smooth, traditional way. There we go. Okay, it's your turn.
Great rest of your day.
Bring your finger down, arched up. Just like a little pinky.
You guys have a stroke group?
I'm gonna go.
Yeah, you said you wanted to play.
It's the same hobby, so.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, my fingers are still not
Oh,
super
really?
strong.
Yeah, go here, I'll try.
We're all the way down.
Don't worry, yeah, I'll take it.
Alright,
Okay. Yep, I realize freezing it is going to take a little bit longer, but it's fine. It can sit out there and recuperate, get cold. I don't have a torch with me here at work today. Oh, and the paneling, the reason our shop is still in business is because we don't spend money on decorating. Yeah, Charlie, I think that uh, hey Hugh, what's up? Thank you all for being here very much. It's great to see you all. Hi Jade. That guitar app you demoed today was really super cool. I mean, of course, I'll never use it, but very awesome. Uh, no, they pay me. They don't buy new paneling. I mean, that sort of stuff isn't important. Yeah, I hope you all were able to watch Jade's broadcast today on the guitar. I don't remember what the app was called, but really cool device that simulates guitars and slide guitar. It was really neat. I got to catch the part where she was using a slide on her touchscreen and being able to strum, so it was very much, I suppose, like a slide guitar would be open tuning. Yeah, and the effects in that sounded fantastic. The delays and reverbs were just glorious. I would love to have those. The rest of it, being a guitar player. So clear tone strings that came off of that. What is it? A Mustang or a Jazzmaster? Jazzmaster. That's what it is. I'm gonna let that thing sit out there in the freezer for a bit, and in the meantime, I am going to grab an amp that many or most of you have never seen before. If you have, that you've seen photographs probably. Unless you're really not, you don't have to be that old. I'm just kind of cleaning up some tools here so that I have some space on my bench to bring it out and let you all see this thing. And we may just plug it in today for the first time since I recapped it. I have no idea if it works or not at this point. Oh, cool, Preston. Yeah. I always look forward to that. It's funny. Hugh, you kind of missed it. You got here a little later, maybe, but I have a Fender Jazzmaster that the tremolo arm got broken off down inside the shaft where it threads in. And we all know Fender uses these wimpy, absolutely wimpy pot metal-ish. They're made in America, but this is probably Chinese-made steel that are they're. I mean, Hugh, how many of these? Hugh works at a guitar shop in Scotland, I believe, and how many of these have you seen that have broken on Fender guitars? I don't care if it's a Strat or a Mexican-made, otherwise. They use 4mm. They're terrible. Yeah, there you go, Charlie. I haven't spent much time playing slide guitar. A little bit. I have a few slides at home, and they are fun. They are fun to get going with, but if you don't spend a lot of time with them, perfect. Okay, let's get this off of the bench. Let's get these out of the way. Get this over here where it belongs in my Dremel parts. Okay, and we have a guitar lesson going in the next room, so if you guys are hearing some acoustic guitar, it's a young lady learning to play guitar over there, so it's kind of cool. Yeah, dude, they're terrible. This one really feels like it got bound up in there. I mean, the slot that I have in it, I'm able to get a really good bite with the screwdriver down in there, and it will not turn. So I fear that it's probably demise is going to be getting drilled out or replaced. Okay, give me just a second. I'm going to point you at this box of this little the parts that were removed from the 1953 Bandmaster. And again, the amp was altered prior to my working on it, so there are things like this and clumps of solder that other guys did. All this stuff was removed. Some of these screws don't go to the amp. In fact, most of them don't. These resistors were replaced. These 25 microfarad caps, and then the 20 by 500 capacitors were replaced on this for the filter section.
Dad's counter out there.
So there's all of that. Hey, I'm about to fire up that. Oh, you want to say hello to about 50,000 people?
I'd love to. Yes.
Y'all say hello to Mr. Al McLeod.
I've been working on a trick. Let's see. Oh, that's got to be painful.
Is that
Oh,
right?
yeah.
We need
All
some
right.
blood.
Yeah, some blood squirting out.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys, this is one of this guy. He is such a fantastic guitar instructor,
Yeah.
bass player, bass instructor, drummer, guitar player. This guy plays slide guitar. Oh, what is that one guy? Oh yeah, Greg Almond. Maybe, or Dwayne Almond. Yeah. What's the other guy? The new guy that plays the SG. Almond's son.
Oh yeah, he's
That guy. Derek Trucks. You guys have no idea who you guys are viewing right here. I hope I can get him to play on an episode one of these days.
I'll do it. You don't have to ask me twice.
Yeah. Yeah, Mark, that bar is not threaded all the way through. The bottom side has an Allen key or a hex key. Hey, thanks for the soup the other day, Al.
There's more out here.
Oh.
Oh. Arm wrestle Joey.
Okay. Yeah, I think he'll take me. Yeah, that guy right there. Holy smokes, you guys. You have no idea what luck I'm in to have that man come into my shop. And I work on all of his guitars. And they're really old and really glorious. Yeah. Yeah, Mark, it's not threaded all the way through. The bottom side of it has a little Allen key or hex key set screw that stops the spring that's supposed to be in there from passing all the way through, and it can't be done that way. I did try to tighten it, and it will not spin either direction. So I fear something got down in there and got in the threads of that bar. And because it's so wimpy, it just snapped off instead of unthreading. Yeah. All right, so let's go get the Bandmaster and bring it out here. Again, here's your parts that I took out of it. We'll let you see all that. Who knows what value that is? Can you tell me? Yellow, green, red. Red, green, yellow. Do you know? Do you know? I know what these are. Who can tell me what that one is? Uh-huh. I'm gonna grab that cabinet here in just a second. Here it is. And I have to prop this thing up properly to make sure that it fires up correctly. We'll get you in. So here she is in all her glory. I hope it's okay that I call it a her. Nobody's offended by that, right? Given women have no rights anymore. Oh, I didn't say that, did I? All right, so you're looking at a 1953 Fender Bandmaster. What we've done with this amplifier, get you kind of a close-up shot here, I suppose, as close as we can get. Replaced all of the filter caps and the 10K caps or resistors here in the power filtering section. We've replaced these capacitors. They were all bad, and these resistors were all of the new ones that you can see in here have been replaced because they were way out of tolerance. And this thing again had been modified and altered by others. You can tell by the rubber or coated wiring here, and whoever did this did a pretty good job running the wire in here and keeping it looking like the hand wired original amp. However, they used rubber coated wire instead of fabric coated. I've replaced this piece of wire and a few others here in the grounds in this section of the amplifier. All of these black wires, this little red piece of wire down here, all fabric, to keep it somewhat period correct. And I have not fired this thing up, having done all the work, and I have not yet replaced the power cable, which I am going to talk with the owner of this amp to find out if he actually does want me to replace the power supply to now here's a few details about recapping amps and doing work like this if you do this sort of work on your own. Number one, as an amp tech, me being able to read these codes, and I know they're upside down to you guys, but being able to see these at a glance is vital. When you put capacitors in an amplifier, absolutely put the specs on the very top of the capacitors if they're printed on there. A lot of caps don't have numbers on, especially the little porcelain ones. Those are great, you know, like these guys here. A lot of these won't have any identifying numbers on them, or if they do, they're so teeny that you can barely read them without a microscope. We left some of the original resistors in this. These rarely ever fail, and having had this pulled loose, I was able to pull this end of this loose and check the specs on that. It's absolutely tested perfect. So all of the components that remain in the amplifier that were originally put in this are all within specs. Obviously these made in Japan. There would be nothing built in the United States back in 1953 that would have had anything made in Japan installed in them. We still were hateful towards them after World War II, and I would say in that case that's deservedly so, although hate being a small ugly word used by small ugly people, we should have got over it sooner. But these were replaced at some point, likely in the 70s or 80s, 50 potentially years ago. Let's see. Hey. All right. Okay. Checking the comments real quick. Sith, hello. Okay, so I'm going to set this back down here. Prop it up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh. Yep. Yeah, if you're replacing capacitors in a guitar amp or anything, as long as the specs or the not the specs, yeah, well, the specs for it are correct, you can always use a higher microfarad. These are 22 microfarad at 450 volts. The original drawing, and by the way, this is a highly valuable information. If you need there you go. I can't show you too much of that. Well, I can show you it all I want, but I believe this is the one. This is the highly. I mean, Bandmasters are not highly sought after amplifiers, but this one actually. This is the amp that I have in front of me right here in the wiring. Basically, the wiring diagram for it. It does have the hum mod in it, which means it has a pot right here. Hey, Dan. Located right here. You can see it. It's a screwdriver potentiometer that is a hum balancer, which gets rid of some hum in these things. Sends some hum to the ground of the amp. So it's definitely, we don't know. This appears to be factory, so this may be a late 53, we believe, model. That this was likely installed at the factory, given the wiring and such that's connected to it. So, yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah, and when you, I wasn't forced to, I didn't have to run a whole lot of wire in this thing because it actually worked when it came in. It was just super noisy. And obviously filter cap issues. The filter caps are completely out of spec. Some of them are shorted. So they just are wide open. In running wiring in an instance like this, you want to do your best to copy, I mean, of course, the work that was done in 1953. It'd be foolish to do anything where the wires were just, run, cattywampus, or just run a straight line instead of running it up and over and down and bending those angles into the wiring. That's the way to do it. If you respect equipment like this. If you don't, then do it however you like. The guy that owns this amp isn't really terribly concerned about that, but we did wire it a bit more like the original would have been wired. The pieces of wire that I pulled out of here, again, like these guys, this was just run straight from a pot to a ground contact, from a pot to a ground contact, and it was just basically stretched straight like this instead of being curved and then curved, something like that. Just looks nice. That's what point-to-point wiring is all about. Okay. Out of here and get this set up. Pop this bad boy up. Now, I didn't spend an extreme amount of time cleaning this amplifier. That was not part of what the gentleman that I'm doing the work for wanted me to do. He wants it to work and really nothing more. So that is what I have done for him. Give me just a second. I'll get this thing propped up here. Move the camera a little bit. Again, I got to talk to my camera guy. He's kind of sucks. Oh, that's right. All right, so here is the top of the amp, and as you can see, I did not. I mean, it is very clean compared to when it arrived. However, you know, it's got a lot of pitting and such on it. And these pieces of tape were used probably by someone else to help the amp. You can see there's some tape, ugly tape on both ends of this. This may have been used in the original manufacture, or it's glue that was used to stick the old tweed to the amp, and it's stuck to this after the fact glue. But yeah, we've cleaned it up. The original gem light, and this is something else that's really important if you work on amplifiers. Make sure when you put the knobs back on that they're all pointed in the right direction. My nephew had an amp worked on by a guy in Portland, and when he turned the microphone or the volume down to 0, it looked like that. And when the bass was at 5, it looked like that. And when the treble was at full blast, it looked like that. Don't do that. I mean, that's an obvious thing, but it's very careless work. So, important. You'll piss people off. So, speaker, got to. Need to go grab a coupling. Let me check for a speaker cable here. And I'll just kind of give you guys a little insight into the way I have my stuff set up here. Over here, I have some stain markers. I've got all sorts of parts and extra batteries, scissors, rags, pickups, fuses, ends, female and male. I've got light bulbs for amplifier lights that might get, sorry about that light, you guys. And then over here, I've got all my cables to plug speakers and such in. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I've got a bunch of microphone cables here. I haven't had to plug a speaker cabinet in. Nope, there's a speaker cable. Don't use a speaker cable for a guitar cable. You all know that, I know. Okay, now what I need to do is go grab a coupling to be able to couple the speaker output. And the other thing on this old amplifier, another really important fact is to know which of the outputs on the back of this is the external speaker and which is the actual speaker output. Now I know on this one, this would be the speaker output right here. If you plug into the external speaker and don't have a load on the speaker out, you are asking for trouble. It's pretty much like plugging a amp in without having it plugged into a load. Okay, and the other thing about these, especially these old with the 5Y3 or 5U4, I'm sorry, this has a 5U4 rectifier. Let me double check. Yeah. If an amp has a 5U4 rectifier tube in it, it's not good to fire them up with the rectifier tube sitting on a level plane. You want to have it pointed down or up. You can really mess those up by having them laying flat. Oh, hey man, Brad, what's up? All right, so I need a coupling on this bad boy. Let me grab one of those. Give me a second. We'll let you look at this amp. Okay. I don't mean to be a big bummer on y'all, but I'm not going to fire this up today. I don't have a mono cable extension, and I'm not going to cut wire to get that going. Brad, welcome, man. Thanks for being here. Y'all keep an eye on Steven. He is building guitars for his uncle, and deserves some recognition. He built a really beautiful guitar. Hi, Gary. So I'm not going to fire this up right at the moment. I don't want to put it back in the amplifier because I may have more alterations to do on this, so that would be kind of spinning my wheels at this point. And I'm not really terribly interested in I was actually kind of planning on doing this tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah, Steven built his uncle a really beautiful guitar. Sounds like his uncle's turning him on to guys like Pete Thorne and things like that. So he'll be a famous guitar builder one of these days, if he's not already. Just polishing up a little bit. Hey, all right. Well, I think it's probably time to maybe go grab that frozen bar and see if I can get that unthreaded. If that doesn't work, I'm going to go get an easy out and remove it that way. And something, I'm sitting here cleaning on this stuff, but when you clean on one of these, you want to be very, very careful. I know you guys have seen this on 1,000 guys' channels, but if you haven't, using cleaner on these, you can potentially remove the paint that these the logos and all of the numbering and all that stuff was applied. So you want to be super careful. The only thing I used on this was water. Even I did not use any soap at all. No soap. I didn't even want to risk that. No dishwashing liquid or anything like that. You can see just kind of going over it with a good clean dry rag kind of helps shine it up a little bit. Took all the knobs off of it and cleaned up underneath there. But we want to leave some of the patina on it, definitely. So yep, I didn't even use warm water. I just used cold water. I filled up my favorite mug with water, and that's what we did. I'm gonna go grab that. I'm gonna go grab that part real quick. I'll let you guys all gander at this beautiful thing. Gander's a word, right? It means look at, I think. Or it. Maybe it's an Oregon thing. I don't know. Alright, I'll go grab that part. Give me just a moment, I'll be right back. This will be a quicker trip.
July 12th, and we'll put the calendar back on here. Oh, it's all good, bud. I need to go see if these keys work that I just had made.
So, yeah, we're at, I think we're at 3.
Right, and then Chris is supposed to be getting another $700 or $800.
Today's the day.
What keys did he use?
Busy as we've been. Today's a good day. Hanging up for the rest of the week.
I assure you, this thing is absolutely frozen solid. Ice coming off of it, and there's ice in here. So we're going to try and get a hold of this and unthread it again. Holy smokes, you guys. Nope. Okay. Tighten it first. It just isn't budging. I don't know, man. It almost, wait. Gosh, it almost looks like it's moving ever so slightly. Nope. I am not going to get that to move. So I'm going to end up drilling that out. Again, you know, I've showed you guys this 1,000 times, but this bar was threaded in like that, and it broke off down inside there. It has some debris down in there that has gotten tied up or tangled up. Something got in there and pinned this, and or it got cross-threaded in. I don't know what. The guy that owns this guitar, again, this is a really beautiful Fender Jazzmaster guitar, and the guy that owns it is a fantastic guitarist, and he also is the leader of a praise and worship team at a church here in our community. And he and his brother have a band called, what are they called? Loudwire, maybe? Man, it almost seems like this thing is trying to turn. Just not. It's stripped out now. I just can't get a bite on it. And I just don't have a slightly, if I would love to have just a slightly larger screwdriver. The wider tip on it might be enough to get it in there. So I'm going to drill that out. We'll get her fixed. Yeah, I don't know how well y'all can see this, but drop that on my screwdriver. The screwdriver goes in there about that far, so me doing this, I'm not going to be sticking it in my hand. Yeah, I'm just not making any progress. Right on. Well, I thought we might solve a problem on this broadcast, but it's not meant to be today, so I'm going to have to drill that thing out. I'm afraid if I take heat to it, it'll discolor it, and I don't really want to do that too terribly bad. Although, yeah, it'll discolor this chrome plating and it'll look like shit in the guitar. So this is going to get drilled out, and I may try to use an easy out on this. I'll go by the hardware store tonight. They're open until 7, and they're one block down the street. So I'm still preserving my gas tank. By the way, it's was it last night? I drove my car yesterday. I have 3/4 of a tank left. So. Yeah, So I appreciate you all hanging with me this afternoon. I may go live tomorrow when I fire this Bandmaster up. So if you happen to catch me on, you might get to hear 1953 Bandmaster, and you'll understand why it's not the most highly sought after amp in the world. But they do make noise, and this thing, I believe, is raging 25 watts with a 115. So thanks y'all for being here. Have a great afternoon, evening, morning, day, whatever time it might be where you're at. Mark, I'll be talking to you here in I don't know, an hour or so, if you have time. Yeah. All right. Peace, y'all.